Okay, these are going to be more like suggestions than opinions. All right, given the fact that we don't know really how the next 4 years are going to go, I do have a feeling that unemployment will play a big factor within it. That and the fact that we have AI and now robots coming to fruition and gaining more prominence, and there's a bunch of strikes happen in order to make sure people keep their jobs. I really think that, the possibility of, a lot more people being jobless, it's not inevitable, but the stakes are higher than usual. But if you're thinking this is going to be the video where I teach you how to find jobs, work on your 401k, invest in Roth IRAs and stuff like that, and just give you suggestions on LinkedIn and connecting with people, it's not that type of video. This is going to be a superficial video on how you should look during your time of unemployment so people don't call you trifling. Like, for example, me. Going on 5 years ago, I moved back home after grad school and thought that this was going to be the beginning of a new life for me. And as soon as I got back home, a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic basically stalled everything for a good minute. I didn't realize before then how hard it was to find a full-time job. But I definitely wasn't expecting how hard it would be to find a full-time job when everything is closed, when the economy is basically shut down. Combining those two huge elements, I was basically SOL for a good minute. The first job I was able to find was like 10 months in, and that was like an on-demand job at Target, which basically I could just come in whenever they had free shifts available. Then I found a job at a TV station where I would just be a brand ambassador and help out there. So, I would work from time to time, but it wasn't like the full time. I had a lot of free time. All in all, I was doing random stuff until I finally found my first full-time job with benefits, PTO, and basically a parking decal and stuff like that. The American dream. But during that time, me working sporadic jobs here and there or whatnot, I had so much time on my hands to just kill and just do so many activities. If y'all been paying attention, you've seen that these videos have been slowing down. You know why? I'm tired. I spend most of the day in the office and I spend the other half in traffic. This is hell. But it's also mentally exhausting to be unemployed, especially when you're unemployed and you don't live on your own. If you're unemployed and you live by yourself, this video is not for you. If you're unemployed and you live with your parents or you have roommates, pay attention. So without further ado, let's get into the rules that you should follow when being unemployed. All right, to begin, let's start with these prerequisites. You need at least a car and a savings. Now you can still accomplish the core rules without this stuff, especially if you're living with your parents. But the thing is, it keeps people guessing.
But you know how Cole works at the airport and I work on the radio?
Yeah, so
Just what the hell do you do for a living, bro?
Say you got your own car. You don't have to borrow anybody else's. Everybody doesn't have to keep tabs on it. You don't have to worry about, the gas and all that good stuff. You got your own wheels. So if you have your own wheels, who knows where you're at? You're unemployed. You have nothing to do. The sky is the limit. So it's basically like if everybody comes back home and they see your car's not there, they'll be like, oh, they're probably out at a job interview or something. No, you're probably just out around the corner watching a movie or something. But the point is, you are outside.
I leave at 9 o'clock, come back around 6, acting like I'm out there doing something constructive, like I'm working.
In addition to that, the savings, it's whatever. Everybody's savings is different. You just have to have some type of little cushion, just a little bit of cushion, and just so some emergency cash. And also, to go into the savings, you need the petty cash. The petty cash is kind of like you pick up a job like I did on my side job at Target or my side job at the TV station. It wasn't that much money, but it was enough little dollars coming in every couple weeks, so I just had something. Basically, it's a glorified Uber or DoorDash job. If you get a job like that, you want a little bit of money just trickling in so you can pay for gas, go out, go to McDonald's or something, basic necessities. So those are the prerequisites: car, savings / DoorDash money. Now to the core rules. Number 1, when they wake up, you wake up. You are unemployed. This is not vacation. Do not be sleeping in when people are getting ready to go to work. Honestly, it would be best to wake up before they go to work just so they see, hey, I ain't just chilling here. I'm up doing some stuff. You should not be waking up at 11 a.m. on a Thursday and thinking everything's cool. Like, imagine if it's a weekday, your mom forgot to take the chicken out of the freezer before she left for work. It is 8:38 a.m. She texts you like, hey, take the chicken out the freezer. It is 12:22 and you're just now responding, okay. That's not a good look. In addition to that, it just shows that you have some drive, that that you're taking this stuff seriously. Number 2, put on some real clothes. You do not need to be sitting around the house in gym clothes and flip-flops the whole day. Like, you don't want to do that.
Hey, baby.
hey,
Did you put on pants today?
Nope.
Put your broke ass.
You should not be wearing lounge around clothes all day. At one point in the day, you need to go in there. You need to pick out some chinos and a t-shirt or something, put on some sneakers and just wear some real clothes. Imagine your parents or roommate coming home from an 8-hour shift, an hour traffic to get there, an hour traffic to get back. They open the door and they see you laying on the couch in your shorts and your tank top, chilling, eating Cheetos. If anything, they are highly in the right to sit down, look you in your eye, and say to you, "Nigga, BOOM!" There's a level of empathy you have to have when being unemployed, and you have to imagine how would I feel if I came home and somebody was just sitting down playing Madden in sweatpants all day. I'd be pissed. I wouldn't wish that on no one. And the other reason why you need real clothes is to keep you uncomfortable. You want to be comfortable, but you don't want to be too comfortable. If you're in shorts and sweatpants and stuff like that, you liable to go sleep early. You always napping. The couch feels good. You feeling good. You got a blanket snuggled up. You gonna go to sleep. You do not need to be asleep for long periods of time throughout the weekday if you're unemployed. Best believe you're gonna be taking a nap. You're gonna be taking a nap, but just leave it at one nap and don't make it be like that 3-hour nap. Keep it at like a good 45 minutes to an hour. Number 3, you need to log into LinkedIn or Indeed at least once a day.
The word today is job. J-O-B.
The job market is very hard. It is very strenuous, and more than likely, you won't be able to find a job unless you have a connection somewhere. But that should not deter you from using these search engines. I know when I use Indeed, I already know I send them the email and it goes straight to the spam box. I already know that, but the point is, I am trying. And this actually takes more work than originally thinking because, you know, when you gotta apply for jobs and stuff, you know, you think it's gonna be easy just send out applications? No, you gotta do questionnaires. You gotta like add the resume. You gotta have about like 10, 15 workday logins that you gotta create and everything like that. Like, it can be a full-time job in itself, but that's the point. You don't want to be too comfortable, and when you're on LinkedIn and Indeed, you kind of get very uncomfortable, and you get the mental stress of sitting in an office and looking at the screen there. So it kind of levels out. And then it just gives you something to look forward to throughout the week. Maybe you'll be on LinkedIn or Indeed, and then you actually get an interview and stuff. You got something to do later on this week, and you can talk about it. Because guess what? You ain't got nothing to do, and if you got some good news to tell people, people like good news. Things are looking up. Number 4, this is essential. This is one of the most essential things on this list. If something needs to be done around the house, do it. If you're unemployed and you see the grass needs to be cut the grass. If you see dishes are stacking up in the sink, the dishes should not be there when everybody clocks out later on at 5. Do your laundry, sprucing some stuff up around the house. And this is another crucial part as to why you need to have a car. If you have a car and somebody is at work and they ask you, hey, can you run this errand for me? You are on errand duty. You gotta go out, run the errands and stuff. Pick up the grocery, pick up your cousin from school, run by the bank, make this deposit, go out here and meet with this person so they can give you this so you can take it here and then I can get back and do this with it. Like, you are the glorified errand boy and you should be happy about that because guess what? You are living here for free. And once again, you got nothing to do. If there's a fully able-bodied adult at your house, unemployed, while you're at work, this should be the person I should depend on in order to get all this stuff done. You're just proving your worth with being helpful. That's all it is. Now, if the person the unemployed person is living with is like, you know, treating them like disrespectful and calling them like a bitch and stuff, it's kind of like, all right, y'all need to have a conversation about that. Yeah, you can't be doing that. Like, just because they're at home, you know, they're still a person.
Chucky, in my house, we do stuff like this all the time.
My house, my house, my house. Let me tell you something, Tommy. This isn't my house, it's my house. And when you're in my house, sometimes you gotta do things my way.
And the last rule, number 5, do something that they're not doing. All right, so one of the key things we've been talking about through this video is time. Everybody's time is precious. When you're at work, you don't have time to do stuff that you want to do. When you're not at work, you have time to do stuff that you want to do, but then you need to find work to fund your lifestyle so you can do the stuff that you want to do. The key benefit to being unemployed is you can actually work on the creative and productivity stuff that you've always been wanting to do. That's why you want to dedicate this time to doing stuff that a lot of people don't really have a lot of time to commit to. Like one thing, people always talking about going to the gym, wanting to get healthy and everything like that. Going to a place like the gym is something that other people just can't do. You are dedicating time to getting healthy. You're not just sitting down and chilling, you're actually investing in something. Health and finances are like the main thing that people dedicate their resolution to. So, hey, if you ain't got a job, at least you're healthy. Now say somebody gets off work and asks you how was your day and you say you ran 3 miles. When was the last time they ran 3 miles? They didn't do it. And if they were to be off work, they couldn't run 3 miles. You got something on them. And it's not just going to the gym and stuff. You have time to like dedicate stuff to your creativity. Write the book you've been planning to do.
Oh yes, because you've got such a heavy workload around here. How you coming on that novel you working on? Huh?
Shoot, you can do a project around the house. Or better yet, you can start working on your LLC. Shoot, with the LLC, at least you're making a plan. A lot of people don't have time to make plans. Think about that. People don't have time to plan stuff. Like, that's insane. The gist of it is, if you're unemployed, just make the maximum use of your time. You actually have something that a lot of people don't have time to do, and that's the ability to just sit down and actually dedicate some time to yourself. But the thing is, you just don't want to look like a bum doing it. And to end on this note, you don't want to look like you're just having too much fun either. Because at the end of the day, working does take a lot, and you don't want to look like an asshole looking like you're on vacation when everybody else is out there trying to get stuff, pay their bills, pay grocery, pay mortgages and stuff like that. You know, you just want to contribute something. Like, you know how people act like they're doing something at work? Like, they'll act like they're folding clothes or they're typing up reports and stuff like that when they actually just on YouTube or just, picking up and putting down boxes just to look busy. That's what you want to do, but at home.
Why I gotta find you a job?
Cause you my man.
All right.
What you been doing all day, Tommy?
You know, man. Working, doing what I do.
All right, straight up lying.